Hey, welcome to the video. My name is Eno. I am a drone pilot turned consultant. And today we're going to talk about a 5-step client attraction system that we built for drone entrepreneurs. And this is to build a strong brand and close more clients in 2025 and beyond. And we're going to talk about how to do this without cold calling and running ads and really any other outdated methods for marketing. And we do this using our lead system that you can see here on the right. And we're going to go through what each of those letters mean and how we break it down and really how you can implement this into your own business and grow as well. So what we're going to be covering is how to take a systematic approach to your business in 2025, what it really takes to build a 6-figure business and beyond. And again, the 5-step process to improve how you attract more high-value clients into your business. And as you can see, the lead system is broken down into 5 different sections. We first have locate your audience for L. We have the E for establish your brand. We have the A for automate awareness. We have the D for develop relationships. And then we have the S for scale with systems. And we're going to go through detail on all of these so you can implement it in your business. So who is this training for? This is for you if you're a drone entrepreneur and you're earning less than 5 to 10K a month and really struggling to grow consistently. This is for you also if you've been running your drone business for a couple of years and maybe you've passed that 5 to 10K a month mark, but you're looking for more strategic and a scalable way to attract high value clients to your business. This is also for you if you want a predictable system to attract high paying clients instead of relying on referrals and random social media posts. And we always, refer to it as random acts of marketing. This is also for you if you're frustrated with finding leads, building an attractive portfolio, or getting your company in front of the right decision makers that are going to hire you. And lastly, this is also for you if you're ready to move beyond that trial and error phase and want a proven framework to grow your business faster and with less stress. The truth is you can absolutely get high value clients every single month from your drone business. But the problem is most drone companies don't even have a solid strategy for marketing, for lead gen, for outreach, and really just understanding what is our particular strategy, right, for getting clients. And even when they do have this in place, they're stuck with some outdated methods that just don't work anymore. Like, again, cold calling, spamming people with messages, writing long emails. So what you need is a proven system that brings in new clients consistently. And these are things that you can do all from the comfort of your home. And this is why we created Global Air U. We are literally the only consultancy and marketing agency who is dedicated to helping drone entrepreneurs with branding, marketing, lead generation support. And it's really because we know the business. And for me, I've been in the business for close to a decade now. I started in 2015. And since then, I've been able to evolve from a pilot to a DSP, a drone service provider, to now a consultant where I work specifically with drone entrepreneurs for business strategy to really understand how to network, how to grow your business, and the right way to put together your brand. So when we started, I was really lost when it came to what we want to do in the drone space. We were doing a bit of everything from real estate to construction site mapping. At one point, we were getting into drone light shows, drone repair. We even did STEM education for youth. So we were really stretching ourselves then, and we didn't have a specific niche. So 2020, I decided to look around, and at the time, we were really known for education, for training. And I decided, all right, we need to create a course. We need to create some materials based on our experience. But I didn't want to just create another Part 107 course. I wanted to go deeper and understand what are those core needs of the industry, what are other drone businesses going through, and what are the resources that they need. For me, it just made sense to go right into drone entrepreneurship. And I looked around, I didn't really see any content, and still to this day, there's not a whole lot of content that spells out the exact strategy for building a drone business. So what we've done is put together a program, and since then, I've been able to speak on different stages. This is Commercial AV, one of the largest, well-known expos in the industry. I've also been able to become chairman of an organization called the African Drone Forum, and this is the largest network of professionals on the continent and beyond. You can see here, this is a conference that we actually held in June of 2024. I've been to Ethiopia, which you can see here in a very remote area of land, and just the opportunity to show people this new technology was an incredible experience. I've been to places like Kyrgyzstan, somewhere that I literally didn't even know how to spell before going there. But this is what drones has opened up for me. And I always loved to travel before I got into the drone space. And it has really just allowed me to expand globally. And everything I've learned, we're looking to, of course, teach and give back so you can understand how to grow your business as well. Now, before we get into the tactical things, it's really important to touch on the mindset. Being an entrepreneur is not easy by any sense. And the truth is, most businesses fail. And the percentage is even higher in the drone space. And that can be from a lack of resources, that can be from a number of different factors. But it really comes down to mindset. And longevity in this industry is what you need to be looking forward to. And we have this term of delayed gratification, where you have to accept that your progress is going to take time. Anything worthwhile takes time to build. And the sooner you accept that, the sooner your path through entrepreneurship will become that much easier. So we have this stage one where we call uninformed optimism. And this is when you're first getting into the business, you're on cloud nine, you're thinking about all the money that you're going to make, this new industry, new technology, and you think, hey, I'm going to just get my part 107. People are going to start calling me left and right. And you really don't know what you've gotten yourself into yet, right? You just buy the drone, you get your part 107, and of course, you're anticipating everything is just going to be flowing from there. But we get here to stage two, which is below this pessimism line, and we see that this is informed pessimism, right? So now reality is setting in. You begin to see the hurdles, right? The things that it's actually going to take to build the business. You can't just rely on word of mouth and people just to come and ask for your services. And you begin to see the hurdles, right? And doubt really starts to overshadow that optimism. Stage three really is a low point, right? And I can guarantee you everyone goes through this stage three, and it's not even just once, right? This happens over the course of entrepreneurship. But the thing about stage three is this is where most people quit. And we call this the valley of despair. And this really is the lowest point. It can seem challenges are insurmountable. Your motivation is low. You're hearing a bunch of no's. You're sending emails, not getting responses. Your account is looking low, and you really question yourself like, is this what I should be doing? Did I just waste time doing this? But the reality is the only thing that helps get through this is time and understanding what is holding you up. So after stage three, the people that make it past stage three, of course, you get over that hump, right? And now you get to stage four where you have informed optimism, and you know that with persistence, you begin to see solutions and a renewed confidence emerges. And you really understand like what it takes to get things done, what it takes to get that answer. And it really helps that process. And then in stage five, this is like that euphoric moment where you finally start to see money. You start to make certain connections that really move the needle forward. And then you just use that knowledge to help grow in the future. But it's really important to understand that everyone goes through these phases. There is literally no one in the history of business and entrepreneurship that hasn't gone through this valley of despair. This visual is great because it really just reminds us all that, hey, this is a journey and you can get through it as well. So that's why we came up with the LEADS system. And this is a step-by-step guide to growing your drone business, and something that I've been working on for the past year to refine and make sure that it is nice and clear on how you can use this for your own business. But again, we have the L for locate your audience. We have the E for establish your brand. We have the A for automate awareness. We have the D for develop relationships. And then we have the S for scaling with systems. Now, before we get into the details and the tactical side, I'm going to break down each letter one by one. I just wanted to touch on a couple of the clients that we've been working with over the past year and months. And Chris Wassam, he's a drone mapping specialist. He targets construction, bridge inspections, quarries in Southwest Missouri. And Chris's issue was getting in front of the right clients, understanding how to give them the right information. And pretty much what Chris had was a logo and a website, right? He didn't really have any marketing materials. He wasn't sending different materials or content to his potential clients. And that really hurt in the long run. You could even see from his logo here, this is a very kind of basic, unprofessional logo that, of course, we all are bootstrapping in the beginning. You probably go to Canva, you go to some other site to just put something together. And a lot of times it is a drone. But what we were able to do was work with him to rebrand his business from the ground up. So we created this logo, which is, of course, more professional looking logo. I would say the most important things to point out here, of course, are his website, the lead magnet here, and the pitch deck. And I would also include the one page as well. And you have to understand that it's not common for people to spend a lot of time on your website, right? So you can't depend on your website to do the selling for you. You have to be sending multiple pieces of content to your potential clients. So that means you definitely have to have something like an ebook, and this says Precision at Your Fingertips, the essential ebook on drone mapping for quarries and construction, right? So it's a really clear piece of content, valuable content for his target audience, right? So now he puts this on his website. People can come download it. They found out information before he has meetings. He can now send this document to them to say, hey, review this before our meeting. And it just makes that whole content and client acquisition process that much smoother. So you can also see we created social media templates, some apparel for him, some targeted one pages as well. And then you can see even his comment here where he says, hey, my views and interest on the website are certainly gaining momentum. And of course, it's been a pleasure working with us in the team. We have graphic designers, website developers who actually go in and create all these assets for you as well. So getting back into the lead system, we're going to now jump right into the tactical side. And again, we have locate, establish, automate awareness, develop relationships, and then scale with systems. So step one, locate your audience. Now, you can't really get clients if you don't know who you're going after. And it's so easy to want to leave yourself open, and you may think that, oh, I'm cutting myself off from work if I only focus on construction, or maybe I have potential clients here and there. But you can't close what you can't see. And you have to be very targeted when it comes to who you are reaching out to and the messaging that you're sending them as well. We really push the rule of one, and this is solving one problem within one niche for one avatar with one really good offer. If you don't know what an avatar is, I'm going to explain it on the next slide. But the real focus here is picking one niche. If someone's going to your website and they're seeing construction, they're seeing events, they're seeing real estate, it's not going to appeal to them, right? It's not going to speak to them. You're not going to have the language that they speak or that's attractive to them. And it's going to prevent you from getting work, right? This is probably the number one reason that drone businesses don't succeed, is because they have all these different niches on their website, and it can confuse your potential clients. So you really want to be focused, and the rule of one is a way to do that. And what we always say, if you're marketing to everyone, you're marketing to no one. So you really want to make sure that you are dialed in with your target. So this is always where we start. We identify who your target audience is, and then we can progress from there. When we work with clients, we create 3 different plans. The first plan is the customer avatar, which I just mentioned. And this describes who your ideal client is and what they care about. So for instance, if you are going after a construction superintendent, there are specific problems that they have that are way different than, let's say, a quarry manager or a farm owner, right? They have really specific needs that need to be addressed. And there's no way you can do that on the website speaking to all those folks, right? It really is just going to throw things off. So your avatar focuses on their problems and what they need help with. It explains where to find them online and in person as well. We then create a business plan. So of course, we're not talking about the the old days where you had 50-page business plans. Nowadays, we have ChatGPT, and really it's a streamlined document, typically 3 to 5 pages that really just spells out what you are doing. And if you don't have a plan, you might as well be planning to fail, right? Because you have to be following something and have a target when you get up every day, right? And you're wondering, hey, what am I doing? Who am I going after? What is my focus, right? You have to have that business plan to keep you in line. So this is going to outline your services, your pricing, and your goals. It will show you how to stand out from your competitors. And it includes a simple plan to grow and make money over time. The last plan that we create with all of our clients is a content marketing plan. So we've set the foundation with the avatar and the business plan. Now we need to do outreach, right? Now we need to make people aware of what we do. So we now list the different types of content, creating blogs or email newsletters, which I'm a big fan of. We'll talk more about that as we go along. It explains where to share your content to reach their audience. And it's important to know where your specific audience spends their time. If your audience is on LinkedIn, then that's where you should be spending your time. If you're more creative, cinematography, real estate, then yes, they're probably going to be more on Instagram or Facebook. But a construction site superintendent is not going to be scrolling around on Instagram, right? It's just the reality of the situation. So you really have to understand where your audience spends most of your time, and that will force you, right, to spend more time there reaching out to them as well. So for example, if you are focused on bridge inspection, the problem would be a need for safe and efficient inspection of bridges to prevent costly repairs and ensure public safety. The niche, of course, would be construction and infrastructure. Your target customer or avatar would be construction project managers or civil engineers, age 30 to 50, managing large-scale bridge projects and prioritizing safety compliance. Your unique offer could be drone-based inspection service for providing high-resolution imagery and 3D mapping for faster, safer assessments without manual risk. So you're probably wondering, all right, where do I locate my audience? And you think about this in two different buckets. We have online and we have offline as well. First, with online, you have, of course, LinkedIn. This could also, again, be Facebook. This could be Instagram as well. Really, again, depends on your industry. We also have Google search where you can look up these folks, industry platforms, different websites that are dedicated to your niche or the area that you're in. Facebook groups, as I mentioned before. And then, of course, there are procurement sites as well, where you can literally get a list of these companies who are bidding on these type of jobs, depending on what industry that you're in as well. Offline is a very underrated way for connecting with clients. People do business with people they know. And if you're not shaking hands, if you're not in the same rooms, if you're not exchanging cards with these folks, you're never going to connect with them on that personal level. You can only do so much online. So what you need to do is find specific trade shows that are for your industry, expos, different workshops with professionals that are leading these and where they're going to bring around other professionals in that industry as well. Those state and federal bids, a lot of times they have in-person pre-bid meetings. So if you have multi-million-dollar construction projects being planned in your state, they're going to have some sort of walkthrough or pre-bid meeting for those large construction companies who are bidding on that specific project. So what we used to do in Baltimore is we used to physically go to these pre-bid meetings and be there, and 100% of the time we were the only drone company, right? So you have these 8, 10, 12 companies bidding on these very large projects, and we used to just hand our card to each one of them. So it really doesn't matter who wins, right? The fact is we were able to connect with those different companies in person, and that really keeps the ball rolling as well. There's also professional associations, local business groups with these decision makers there as well. Trade publications, right, that are for your specific industry, and then other local networking opportunities, entrepreneurial type of meetups. You really want to say yes to any opportunity where you can meet other specific entrepreneurs in your space. Step 2 in the leads framework, of course, the E is for establish your brand. And We do this by outlining a branding checklist, and this is something that we've refined over the years, but any service-based business and even consultants as well, there's definitely a list of branding assets that you want to have in place. And the ones that are not successful don't focus on these things, right? They probably think that, hey, just throwing up a website or just having great drone footage is going to get you by. This is a reality check, right? You have to do more. It's not just going to be your website. You have to have other pieces of content, just like I showed you with Chris, that are going to get you to the next level. Have a website with clear messaging. You want to have a modern logo. If you look here at the logos here, these are none of these logos are drones, right? These are all well-designed, strong kind of brands that, yes, give off that kind of drone feel to a certain extent, but these are professionally designed, right? So you want to make sure that you are spending time and investing in that. Have a one-pager, right? So when you're on the go, you can hand out one-pagers to certain folks that you see as you are moving out and about. Have a lead magnet, that ebook that I pointed out. A pitch deck, so when you're in meetings, you actually have something professional and polished that you can show that explains your services. So one of the things that you can do is you can send them that ebook before the meeting, and then after the meeting, you can follow up with that pitch deck. And now they have all these pieces of content to consume, and it really just makes you look more professional at the end of the day. For social media, you want to make sure that all these templates are dialed in as well. Don't just pick random colors or random templates to use. Make sure it matches your lead magnet, matches your pitch deck as well. And of course, business cards, letterhead, LinkedIn banners, your website, very important. And I have some examples that I can show for you here. We have an example here for Desert Sky Cams, and you can see precision drone services for construction and energy projects in Arizona. We have the lead magnet listed here. We have a problem statement, right? Our project delays, concerns, and data inaccuracies hindering your construction projects and energy initiatives listed out there. Your core services, benefits, your certifications listed here as well, and then contact information. So you want to make sure that you're giving enough information to your potential clients, but you want to keep it simple as well. And we'll go into another training where we go through the specifics of what you should include on your home page. But you want to make sure, of course, that you're including that key information there that will really appeal and, again, speak the language that your potential clients wants to hear as well. Some other examples of before and after logos that we've done. You can see how the professionalism comes out when we are able to really understand their brand and then create another logo that really would appeal to more professional folks as well. These are all examples of lead magnets and pitch decks as well that you can also use during your client meetings. And again, you just want to make sure it's dialed in, the messaging speaks to your potential clients, and there's no confusion on the services that you're offering. Some other examples of clients that we've recently worked with: JJ from Oregon, Drone Works out in Arizona, and Tanner here is also in Arizona as well with Desert Sky Cams. You can see the one-pager, pitch deck, different apparel. So we have a lot of experience doing these as well. And then we have Skypick Studios out of Nashville that we recently worked with as well. Step 3, you want to automate awareness, right? And it's really important that you reach out to at least 20 potential clients daily. And this is with personalized emails and DMs. You want to lead with value and establish genuine relationships that lead to booked meetings, right? You want to also post content at least 1 to 2 times a week. And the easiest way to do this is to pre-schedule your content, right? This is not something that you're going to do on the day every day, right? The best thing you can do is just take 1 day a week, 1 or 2 days a week, where you think about the content, put it together, and then use a scheduling platform like Buffer, or you could even do it directly on LinkedIn as well, but pre-schedule your post so it's not something that you're doing on the fly every day. And then what I always suggest is sending a monthly newsletter to your email list so you can keep in touch with them over time and really nurture your leads. You may be wondering, what do I say to my leads? These are some example subject lines you can use. Drone tech intro. Is drone tech the future? What can drones do for you? You want to make it appealing, right? You want to make it curiosity driven. You could even include their name, right, in the subject line as well. But one piece of quick information you can say is, hey, I came across your work, and this is where you do like a personalized mention of the industry or the project that they're in. You can say, hey, I just saw your project downtown and I wanted to reach out. My name is John. I run John's Drone Services. We help businesses like you solve problems for data collection, making site inspections easier, or just tracking safety progress on your sites. The reason I'm reaching out is that I believe we can help you reach your goals. Would you be open to me sharing a few case studies to show you how we've helped companies like yours? You could also throw in, does this week work for a quick call to discuss how we might help you and your team? So you do want to keep it short, right? You don't want to write long emails. I would even say it could even be a little bit shorter than this as well, but this is a good template that you can use and try out for reaching out to your clients. And this is a numbers game, right? You're not going to just reach out to 5 or 10 people and expect them to hop on a call and become a client, right? You have to reach out. We always have our rule of 100. So really when you're gathering your names, write down all these names, make a list of 100, at least 100 on a spreadsheet. And then every day, if you're knocking out 20, that's just 5 days, right? And then you can find more leads over time to reach out to. If you're reaching out on LinkedIn or Instagram and doing more DMs, the key here is really just to lead with value, right? This is an example here. This is Chris, who actually became a client, and I reached out to him. I said, hey, Chris, great to connect with you. Fellow pilot turned consultant here. I see you're doing some great work in Missouri. I have a pricing spreadsheet that helps pilots easily price service-based projects. It simplifies the process of calculating expenses, overhead, and profit margins with just a few inputs. It's totally free. Are you open to me sharing it with you? And that puts them at ease, right? You're not coming off as salesy. I'm not going in there and say, hey, Chris, I have this wonderful coaching program or consultation that you should jump into. That's going to be very off-putting to folks, right? You want to lead with value. Give them something that they would actually be interested in. And that's why we have that lead magnet, right? So you can easily say, hey, I have some case studies, right, that will show you and inform you how drones are being used. So step 4 in the leads system is develop relationships. And like I said before, people do business with people they know. So you want to start small with personal interactions, really build genuine relationships, right? It's not about a transactional relationship with these folks. You really need to understand what they're going through, sit with them, have chats. This is just really a part of business, and this comes with the business acumen. Over time, you'll understand the more and more importance of that. But you can't be looking at this as a transactional relationship, right? Really try to build genuine relationships, because at the end of the day, you want to work with someone that you like, right? And it's the same thing for your client. They actually want to like you in the process to give you even more opportunities in the future. We talked about leveraging online platforms. Prepare and practice, right? When you're going to different industry meetups, have your pitch ready. Know exactly what service that you're offering and how you can help folks, right? Have your elevator pitch ready so you're not fumbling around when people say, hey, what do? You can explain right there what it is that you do. You want to lead with value, focus on adding value to the relationship, not just, hey, how quickly can this person pay me? Think about, how can I add value? How can I make their processes easier? How can I be a value add? That is what moves the needle. And then stay consistent with follow-ups, right? This is not going to be done with you just talking to them once and expecting for them to be all excited. Step 5, lastly, is scale with systems. And this is one of the biggest lessons I've learned as an entrepreneur. And this really is the difference between a freelancer and an entrepreneur. If you really want to build a scalable business, you have to have systems in place. You have to have a team in place that are going to help you do a lot of the things that we're talking about here in this presentation. So you have to block out time for deep work, right? One thing, I don't take calls on Tuesdays and Thursdays because those are my times for doing actual deep work, getting things done, moving the needle. And if I'm taking random calls throughout the day, it's really going to hurt productivity over time. Another thing that I do is I group my meetings, right? So my schedule is not just open all times of the day. I only take meetings generally after 11 a.m. and typically before 4 p.m., Some days it's smaller depending on what I need to do, but I don't just have an open calendar for someone to book anytime. Otherwise, you're going to lose focus and productivity over time. Use automation tools, right? So streamline repetitive tasks like email campaigns, sending out invoicing, and scheduling your content like we already talked about. You want to be able to delegate routine tasks, right? Find team members. And nowadays you can have virtual assistants. They're really easy on your budget, right? You don't have to pay the same that you had to pay someone here in the States to do the same amount of work, right? So you can find someone, professional, competent people who can actually help you move the needle. You want to prioritize revenue generating activities. So when you're sitting down, one thing that you actually should do is write down all the tasks that you're doing throughout the day and ask yourself, do I need to be doing this, right? Do I, as the business owner, as an entrepreneur, need to be doing this? Now, if you just want to be a freelancer, handle everything and keep everything to yourself, fine. You can make some sort of living off of that. But if you are looking to build an actual business, something that's bigger than yourself, there's no way you're going to be able to do all this on your own, right? So you have to have support along the way, and then have workflow optimization, create SOPs and systems so that when you do hire someone, they're not just like looking around, hey, what do I do? You have processes. And again, with ChatGPT, it makes these things much, much easier. So to recap, we talked about locating your audience. We talked about establishing your brand. We talked about how to automate awareness when you're reaching out to folks. We talked about how to develop relationships, and we talked about scaling with systems. And if you are doing all 5 of these, you absolutely will see results over time. And again, it just takes that consistency and sticking to it as well. So what's next? You've watched up until now. Option 1 really is you can follow these steps, and there's even more value that we'll be sending out and giving as well. You're probably going to spend thousands of dollars testing and learning, and even the time that it takes to figure these things out. I'm 9 years in this space and I'm still learning things along the way. What a lot of folks also do is they waste time hiring people to do their branding from Fiverr, from Upwork. But these people have no idea about the drone industry, right? They are unqualified talent that are really going to waste your time, and you're not going to get good results from them. I have so many entrepreneurs that I work with that have wasted money, wasted time with people on Fiverr and Upwork. You're going to spend at least 6 months figuring things out. A lot of times it's longer, right? Because if you don't have a system in place, you're just figuring things out along the way. And then you need to spend at least 2 to 3 hours a day managing freelancers, managing this and that, and it really does add up over time. Option 2 is you can work with me and my team, and we'll do each of those steps that I talked about. We'll help you implement the entire system using our strategies, using our framework, using the tools that we have, and everything that we've learned from working with other drone entrepreneurs as well. And you will see results. You will start to generate new clients. And this really happens after the first few weeks of working with us, right? This isn't something that you're going to have to wait months, and it really just takes the heavy lifting off yourself as well. When you're working with us, you will be at ease. You're not going to be stressing, losing sleep, because you know your calendar is going to be filled with high quality meetings no matter what happens. People are going to be seeing your brand, and they're really going to be impressed and want to work with you. You're going to know exactly what you need to do to be consistent with leads and the income that's going to be coming into your business. And finally, you're going to be able to live the drone life, right? We all got into this for a reason, and it wasn't to be working tirelessly every day for the rest of our lives, right? We wanted to get into this business to make a respectable living, to make sure that we have enough to support our families and go on from there. So I just wanted to thank you. You stuck around this long. You had a sense that there was something better out there and a better way to grow your business, and you took action by watching this video. So if you're interested in seeing how this can work for your business, just click the link below, schedule a call. This is a no strings attached discovery call with me, and we will talk about specifically how we can help your business. And just keep in mind, this is not like an open kind of ended service. We only work with 5 clients at a time. That's really all we have capacity to do, to make sure that we give the proper quality to each of our clients. So make sure that you are booking as soon as you see this video, as soon as you are ready to, so that you don't lose your opportunity to excel your business. And lastly, We do guarantee results for you, or you will not pay a single dime. If you don't see any significant progress in the first 30 to 90 days, we will absolutely issue you a full refund, no questions asked. And we've never had to do this, but of course I have to mention that as part of our sales process so you understand exactly how we work with our clients. So we've reached the end of the training. I just want to thank you again for joining us. If you have any questions at all, feel free to reach out. If you're ready to get started, book the call below. I look forward to seeing you in the program. And thank you again, and I'll talk to you soon.